Alright, so today we are doing something that I would love to do more often, which is work with salmon, but salmon is a little out of the budget, but we're set today. So today we're doing blackened salmon tacos today. So we're gonna make a slaw, we're gonna make a sauce with it, and we're gonna make a seasoning for the fish, cooked fish, put it all together. It's gonna be magical and delicious. Let's get started. All right, so the first thing I wanna do is I wanna make the dressing for the slaw. So we're doing a honey mustard slaw, sort of, kind of. But anyway, so I have here this sweet hot mustard that we're gonna use. So we're gonna use about 2 tablespoons. Then I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of honey, a tablespoon of cider vinegar, a teaspoon of olive oil, and a half teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Give that a little whisk. And you want this to be pretty pungent because then once you mix your slaw and stuff in here, then it kind of mellows out a little bit. But if you want it to be a little bit more mustardy, add a little bit more of the mustard. If you want a little bit more sweet, add a little bit more of the honey. And then if you want a little bit more salt, add a little bit. But start with that. That's pretty good right there. So next, we're gonna add our veg to this. And I'm going to go with about a 1/4 cup of thin sliced red onion. And when I say thin sliced, I mean thin sliced. That actually might be a little too thick, but I like red onions, so I don't really care. Yeah, something a little bit more see-through. There you go. Add that to your bowl. Then I'm gonna add about 2 cups of slaw mix. I'm just using the tricolored stuff. All right, then toss that together. All right, so that's mixed. So we're gonna set him off to the side, and then we're gonna go ahead and make our sauce for this. So we're gonna go spicy sauce to kind of also help complement the fish a little bit, since we have the sweetness and kind of mustardiness of the slaw. So we're gonna go hot, and we're gonna go a sriracha aioli for this. So I have here a 1/2 cup of olive oil mayo, about a 1/4 cup of sriracha, maybe closer to like 2.5 tablespoons if you don't want it too spicy, a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and then 2 teaspoons of lime juice. Or in this case, 1 really big splash, you idiot. Anyway, mix that together. All right, I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna add a teaspoon of honey to this. Just a little bit. Although, I don't know, that's pretty good. So, that's done. So next, we're gonna make our blackening seasoning for our salmon. So, I made some a minute ago. I don't remember from what video. It's been a minute, but I'm gonna add to it because I wanna add a couple other things to it. So, that's what we're gonna do. So, we're gonna add, and this is just for 1 normal batch to cover the fish, because we are doing 2 pieces of like 4-ounce salmon fillets. So I'm gonna add a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of paprika, a teaspoon and a half of cayenne pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground thyme, a teaspoon of oregano, and then I am gonna add a tablespoon of light brown sugar. Now for this recipe, I would say just keep it to a teaspoon, but because I got so much of this, I'm gonna add a tablespoon. And this is why we save old shaker bottles. So, mixy. All right, perfect. So now, let's do our fish. All right, so I thought I hit record. Apparently I did not, but all I did, these already had the skin off of them. These are 2 4-ounce, 3.5-ounce fillets that I cubed into about 1-inch cubes. Yes, that is the sound of my air fryer. Coat them in the seasoning. I sprayed them with a little bit of olive oil, and then toss them, throw them on here. And I have my air fryer set to 350, and we're gonna hopefully go for about 5 minutes because they are so small. That should be okay. So you just want them cooked. But let's go ahead and throw these in, and we'll get this party started. All right, fishies are done. We're doing 3. This is probably going to be more than 3. But for presentation purposes, we're doing 3. So, first thing I want to do, I think I'm going to put my fishies down first. Okay, then next, we're going to add our slaw and then drizzle our sauce. Oh yeah. So, that does not look terrible at all. Let's eat. And then if you want, add some cilantro to it, but let's eat. So, see if I can get this whole lighting thing down. Close enough. Cheers. Mm. 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 So, the intensity of that blackening seasoning on the salmon is almost kind of counteracted by that pungent, almost not sweet, but pungent slaw. It's very nice. And it brings down the intensity a lot, because then you have that sriracha sauce that has some heat to it, but overall, this is fire. I love this. And I meant to mention the tortillas, just some carb counter, carb smart tortillas, nothing crazy. And then I heated them up on my griddle there. That is not bad taco. Well guys, there you have it, blackened salmon street tacos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did and you're new, make sure you hit that sub button, throw a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and as always, peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.